Hi everyone, so Taria from Urban Sketching World back with you today for the final day of the Urban Sketching at Home 7-day challenge. So today is quite simply putting everything together that we've done so far. So you can sketch anything you want that's in your house that tells a story of your day. I totally understand that you don't have all day to sit around sketching, so it could be some snippets across the week or whatever time frame you want. The whole point here is just to kind of tell a story of your life at home and sketching things around the house, whether it be man-made objects, organic objects, your pets, your family members, a room in your house, the garden, plants, whatever it is. And kind of feed it all together in like maybe one kind of montage or sketchbook spread. So I thought that was a really nice way to end, just to try and sort of put everything together. With that in mind, I was trying to sketch things from throughout my day, but also try and get like a bit of a variety of subject matter as well. So I started my day thinking that, seeing my tripod, the top of my tripod, and thinking that'd be really cool to sketch actually. And it's pretty relevant because, it's my final day of sketching all of these challenges, which has been an intense week, really intense, because I've literally just been doing it every single day. So it shows I actually forgot to even record me doing the line drawing, the pen and ink drawing of this, but you saw me draw in pencil, so I mean it was pretty much just going over the top really. So yeah, I decided to colour the tripod head with my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. I stuck to the warm shades of grey, the 3 shades that I've got, and just kind of built up the tones really, just to kind of give it that sort of 3D look. So yeah, I was quite happy with this sketch actually. It's not like obviously completely realistic, but it definitely captures the character of the tripod head. So yeah, I was pretty happy with this. So yeah, I mean it was the kind of the first thing that I saw in the morning, and I squeezed it in just before I had to go to work. When I say go to work, I mean leave the house and go out to the office to work for the travel company that I work for. So I did that for the first 4 hours of my day. But yeah, I managed to squeeze in this sketch between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. just before I had to go and do my work. So I was quite happy with that. It was good. It's good to know that you can just kind of sketch things quickly and on the fly, So I'm doing my best just to kind of capture the different tones of this black sketchbook tripod head. And just trying to build up the layers. The good thing with these pens is that if you do another coat over the top, it does obviously gets darker. So you can almost get 6 different tones of grey with the 3 pens really, because if you layer each one, then they get a shade darker. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I decided to stick with the warm shades of grey rather than the cool shades of grey. I think I used the cool ones just in the handle that goes off the page there. But aside from that, I just tried to add a few highlights with the Posca marker pen, but it didn't show up great, but that's fine, it was quite subtle. So whilst I was working, I was listening to some awesome music on this little speaker, which I actually bought Duncan for Christmas, and it's so good. Oh my god, for a small speaker, and it was a total risk as well, buying a Bluetooth speaker, and I didn't know if it was going to be tinny or whatever, but it's JBL, so I had high hopes. But yeah, it's so good, really, really loving it. But anyway, so I kind of stole it for a while, and whilst I was working, I was listening to some music, and I had a bit of a break from replying to emails and doing all the admin-y bits I had to do, so I thought I would really quickly try and just get the basic idea of this speaker. I didn't want it to take up too much space on my sketchbook spread, so I tried to keep it quite small, and yeah, just did the basic shapes. So once I was done with work, I had a bit of lunch, and then I went to sit outside because it was a beautiful day, and lo and behold, I found the cat asleep on the chair. So yeah, I thought, as I hadn't sketched her in a previous challenge, I'd done something else, so I thought today was the day to sketch the cat. So I find sketching the cat quite difficult actually without it going too cartoony, but I did my best just to try and really look at the lines of how she was sleeping. It was a bit tricky because the chair armrest was like in the way, but occasionally I just kept standing up and trying to look at her and that kind of thing. You know, I didn't want to disturb her too much, but so yeah, I was just trying to get the distinctive shapes, like the shapes of the legs and stuff like that. But yeah, I was trying to just do a bit of a minimal job on it as well, because I think less can be more with these sorts of things as well. So I think just generally getting the right contour of the cat is kind of the main thing, and like not go too crazy with the details. So yeah, I made a little note there. I've been making notes around the things that I'm sketching as I go along, just to, you know, explain why sketching that thing was like kind of important to me right then and there, you know. So it was kind of cute. She had her front paw resting right on top of her back paw, like that. So she was almost holding her own hand. I thought it was quite cute. Anyway, so that was kind of like, you know, something interesting about sketching the cat right then and there, you know. So I decided not to paint her right then and there because I just wanted the ink to dry a bit, and I kind of wanted to just carry on drawing. So I was looking around and I could see like the garden bit on the right, which I thought would be quite interesting to draw, and also the mother-in-law over there hosing the garden. So yeah, so I thought that would be the next thing that I would draw. So I'm just kind of looking at it and just trying to compose in my head what I want it to look like. So I'm going to draw that kind of brown, what would you call it? I don't know, guardrail. That's not the right word. I'm losing my words again. Anyway, that brown bit, the wooden, God, what is wrong with me? The wooden rail bit there, anyway, that signifies the end of the deck. I'm drawing that from the corner because I think that might look quite cool, and then that big kind of tall bush, and then just kind of going off the page there. I just saw it in my head how it would look, and I was like, oh yeah, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, just mapping it in with pencil again, and then going over it. I'm doing all these drawings with my Wasabi fountain pen, which I just really love to draw with. I'm really glad I got this pen, because I was just going to get the Lamy pen, but something told me I wanted to try this pen out, and actually I use it far more than I do the Lamy. I barely ever use the Lamy. I don't know what it is with the Lamy, it's just not, I don't find it as comfortable to draw with as this Wasabi. And I find that I pick up this Wasabi pen and it just always works, whereas sometimes with the Lamy it can be kind of a pain in the ass to get it to work. I don't know if that's because I don't use it enough. I don't know if that's like a self-fulfilling circle of consequences there. I'm just not sure, but also they've both got extra fine nibs on them, but I just find the Wasabi one more comfortable to draw with. It's slightly thicker and like less scratchy. I find the Lamy a bit scratchy. I don't know. I don't have the Lamy Safari. I have the Lamy All Star. So again, they look kind of the same, so I don't really know what the difference is. But anyway, just my 2 cents on the fountain pens there. So now I'm kind of going in. I've done a bit of the cat there. And I'm painting a bit of the garden scene. Sometimes I just like to do all the drawing and then go and do all the painting. Sometimes I bounce around between things, especially if you're doing lots of elements on a page, all at different times. And you know, I just kind of found that like I'll do a base coat on the cat, and then I've gone to paint a bit on the garden, and then I'll bounce back to the cat and do the darker areas. You know. Just while things dry and stuff, it's kind of cool to have a few sketches on the go on the one page, because then you can kind of bounce between them without just having to sit there and wait for paint to dry, which can sometimes happen if you're just working on one sketch. So that's pretty cool. I really like the vibrancy of this garden bit at the edge, so I'm quite glad I did that. And then I saw Joy, mother-in-law, in one specific position while she was watering the garden. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a go. As discussed, not so great on the people sketching, but I was like, I'm gonna be brave. I want to add a person to this sketchbook spread. I want to try and incorporate a lot of the things we've spoken about throughout the week. So I'm just gonna do a basic figure, not too many details, just, you know, basic pose and the action telling the story of what she was doing. So yeah, I was just trying to do this super quick before she really moved too much, and I was liking the pencil sketch. I was keeping it there just in case. So I was like, might erase it, I don't know, we'll see. So I just kept it there whilst I thought about it. She'd obviously moved by this point, so then I went back to do the garden again and add a few more bits there. I was adding a bit of a bubble of sky there. I'd obviously drawn the figure sort of in the way of the sky, but I wanted to show that it was a nice blue sky. But I think I still had a bit of yellow on my brush, so it came out a little greener than it probably should have done, but hopefully it still reads as sky. But yeah, so I was really happy about how this little garden sketch was coming out, actually. But I was aware that there wasn't too much separation between that bush in the background and the bush in the foreground, so I will come back and address that in a minute. So yeah, I thought I'd go in and just do some watercolor on the pencil sketch. I was like, I'm not going to over fuss this with pen lines. I think I'm just going to keep it really simple and just kind of paint over the pencil lines and, you know, just give it a bit of just a kind of basic impression, you know. And I actually really like how it came out, to be honest. I think it kind of captured the story. Does it look completely like Joy? Probably not quite so much, but I think, you know, yeah, I captured the moment that I wanted to capture, so that was fine. So I'm bouncing back to that speaker now, and it's not in front of me, but I hadn't sort of really got around to painting it earlier. And quite frankly, I just couldn't be bothered to get up and walk all the way over to the office to go and look at it, so I did kind of do that a bit from memory, but that's fine. It was quite a basic item, so that's okay. So yeah, just again writing in some more notes about what I was drawing, and just adding in some sort of finishing touches to this garden area. I still want to go back in and do some darker bits on that bush. So quite exciting, but right here I have a beer, and you might be wondering why is that so exciting, but right now in South Africa, the sale of alcohol is illegal because we are in lockdown level 3, and through all their wisdom, they've decided that alcohol is a problem. So you cannot actually buy it from the shop. So we've, at this moment, it's like mid-January, and this has been the rule since about, I don't know when it came in actually. It was before New Year's because we had a dry New Year's, so I think it must have been like just after Christmas Day. So we have finished all of our wine, and we now have about 4 beers left. we're rationing them. So this is actually my first beer since Boxing Day or somewhere around there, I think. So it is quite an exciting moment, guys, I will tell you. And it's like really nice beer as well. Shout out to Agars in Johannesburg, who are a bunch of brothers who brew their own beer, this handcrafted beer, and it is lovely. So yeah, so we're just rationing those at the moment. So yeah, thought it definitely had to feature in my sketchbook. I had to squeeze it in there somewhere. And yeah, I'd forgotten to just paint that little splash of yellowy green on the spirit level on my tripod, so I went in and did that before carrying on with my bottle. So it's been a long time, or if ever, I've painted a bottle in watercolor. So I was kind of quite excited to try and get the like the texture of the bottle and the shines and stuff. So yeah, I was just trying to like layer the browns of the bottle, also have a swig of beer, and later on just try and get some of those reflections. So I think it's like quite a fun exercise actually if you want to try this, like painting bottles. Just yeah, for trying to get the actual real look of a bottle. It's quite fun. encourage you to have a go at trying that out. Obviously, the shining moment, shining being a pun there, is adding the highlights at the end. So I got the white gouache out and just tried to add a few highlights. It's easy to go a bit mad with the white gouache, so you got to keep yourself controlled. Oh yeah, and finally I'm going in and like making that bush a bit darker in the background, which I think helps. It gives it a bit more separation from the rest of the foliage in the foreground. So I've got my white jelly roll pen. I'm just going to put the lettering that is on the neck of the bottle there, and also on the label. I didn't quite fit all the details on the label that are actually there, but that's fine, it's just an impression really. And yeah, now as I said, I'm just going into the white gouache and trying to add those highlights really. So I think it came out alright. I'd like to actually try a proper painting that's not like across pages, and try and sort of have a bit more of a practice at painting a bottle actually. So yeah, putting the date in, adding day 7 of the Urban Sketching at Home 7-day challenge. There's a bit of the garden that I was trying to draw, and the cat's just sat on the seat there that you can't see, she's just out of shot. But yeah, it was really nice to just sort of hang out and sit in the garden and draw, really. It's been quite a long week of doing these videos. It's been a pretty intense filming schedule, but I wanted to just really knock them out and try and get them out to you guys one after another. So I really hope that you've been enjoying watching the videos, and I hope you've been giving it a go as well. If you have been doing so, please do tag me over on Instagram at Urban Sketching World. And also, if you get a chance, guys, go and check out urbansketchingworld.com. There's loads of posts over there, which I think you'll find really interesting. So do go and check it out. And then very finally, I just want to let you guys know that I have an ebook available for purchase. So if you do like my style of illustration, I think you'll really enjoy this book. It's a 60-page PDF that covers the last 3 years of my travels. I've been to super interesting countries like Iran, Mexico, Ethiopia, South Sudan, South Africa, Australia, my home country, the UK, and a few countries in Europe and that kind of thing. So, and alongside the illustrations, there's a few notes or anecdotes of what you're looking at. So I think you'll really like it if you like my style of illustration, if you like travel sketching, urban sketching, that kind of thing. And 20% of all book sales go to an awesome charity called Cool Earth, who work with rainforest communities to try and slow deforestation. So they're kind of a climate change charity, so it's going to a really good cause. So check out the description below. There is a link to the book there where you can purchase it. It is an instant download. As I said, it is an ebook, so it's, you know, viewable on any device. So thanks so much for being here, guys. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Hopefully you've participated in the challenge, or at least a few of the day-to-day challenges. Again, I'd really love to see what you're up to, so do tag me on Instagram at Urban Sketching World. I'm going to have a little bit of a rest now, and I'll see you in the next video.